How could the Supreme Court taking up a case from Mississippi reshape America's attitude to abortion and overturn or limit Roe v. Wade? Well, let's explain that right now. Back in 1973, the US Supreme Court reached a verdict on the case of Roe v. Wade. This case, one of the most well-known in Supreme Court history, found that an implied constitutional right to privacy protected a pregnant woman's right to have an abortion without excessive government restriction. This holding was extended in 1992 via Planned Parenthood versus Casey, which held that women seeking abortions didn't have to wait 24 hours after discussing options with an abortion provider or discuss their plans with their husbands. This new case, though, is all about Mississippi's attempt to shorten the period in which abortions are permissible. Under Roe, abortions are allowed up until viability, or around 24 weeks. However, in 2018, Mississippi changed its laws to ban almost all abortions after 15 weeks. The state government knew that this contravened the Supreme Court's rulings and, as such, would likely be held as unconstitutional. But that wasn't the point. The state government knew that the lower courts would strike down the law, but they also knew that the issue could be important enough for the Supreme Court to revisit its earlier precedents. Essentially, they knew that lower courts would reject it, but they wanted to go up the chain. They wanted to provide the Supreme Court with an excuse to discuss and potentially limit or even overturn Roe. Now, some people are on Mississippi's side. I mean, a number of other red-leaning states have tried similar things, with advocates using states' rights as a core reason to back the case. However, others see it as a worrying move and are concerned that it could lead to a backsliding of women's rights. Even the fact that the case has been taken by the court is telling. With the case directly coming up against Roe, some suspect that the court even agreeing to hear it suggests that the justices may be willing to change the legality of abortions in the US. Some suspect this new willingness to reopen the abortion discussion may have something to do with the court's new 6-3 conservative majority, with Trump's justice picks completely tipping the balance. This new, more conservative court is certainly more likely to consider changes to abortion law, but we're going to have to wait a while to hear the verdict. The court is set to hear the case in fall of this year, but the verdict likely won't be announced until summer of the following year, just before the midterm elections. And considering the justices do like a sense of drama, this could very well be the last verdict read before the court adjourns for the summer. If the court upholds the Mississippi statute, then states across the country will be able to change abortion laws, significantly reducing the window in which abortions are legal. This doesn't seem unlikely either, with the court's latest appointees seemingly on the pro-life side of the debate, and Trump explicitly saying that he wanted to appoint judges who would overturn Roe. And if Roe is overturned, the consequences could be massive. It's predicted that more than 20 states would ban abortion if the ruling was overturned. In fact, 11 states even have a trigger clause whereby abortion would immediately become illegal if and when Roe is overturned. If this will happen, if Roe will be limited, let alone overturned, is still unknown. But with changes in the court and them taking this case, well, it certainly reopened the debate. If you want more bite-sized news updates like this one, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. We also have 3 other channels tackling global, European, and British news, all of which are linked down below. So please support the channel and help yourself get more informed. Special thanks to our Patreon backers who make videos like this one possible. And if you want to see your name at the end of videos, then you too can back us on Patreon. The link to that's in the description.